My brothers and sisters, hello. Welcome back to Soul Talk. I hope you are having a beautiful day. Well, this is Patani. This is the view. The waterfalls is down there. And I tell you what, after my experience the other day, though I'm not afraid to revisit, I just don't feel the need to. You know, maybe the next time I come to Samos, maybe the next time I come to Greece, I recreate my experience. Although, you know what, I don't regret a thing. And again, I'm not afraid of the place. It's just, that was a moment in time, you know, time. That was a moment, and it cannot be changed or altered. So in a way, by me going back there, going by myself, seeing what a difference it could be, there just doesn't seem to be a point. Not today, anyways. And I wanted to be able to, I guess, see all of Patami in a different light. And I mean, honestly, look at this place. You see the sea over there. You see the town, beach. And then you see this hillside right here, but then look at that, okay, just look at that. I mean, there's so much of it, and, you know, the thing that my new friend, from Turkey, that he pointed out to me the other day was that what makes something beautiful, right? What makes one place beautiful and another place not beautiful? Well, nothing necessarily, because like I said, you know, you are beautiful. So anywhere you are, there is beauty. And just to stem off of that, he said that, you know, like okay, for example, if I could find a rock, a beautiful rock. All right, so here's a really big one, right? What makes this rock beautiful? And, well, you know, lots of things, right? The detail and the feeling of it. And, hello, Greek flag. Woo! So lots of things makes a rock beautiful. But what makes you not beautiful? You know, nothing, really. So the thing is that when we look at something else and we can tell that it's beautiful, how do we not see our own reflection? Right? See, he used a different piece of nature, but let's just use, okay, so this little part of a tree, right, it's dried up, maybe because it's lacking a certain amount of vibrant green that we find to be beautiful on a tree. Maybe then you think of yourself like this shrub. You don't see yourself as this piece of beauty. Now, I don't mean that you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you have acquired a certain amount of love for yourself at this point in your life, and you see yourself as that beautiful, vibrant tree, and that's wonderful. If so, I'm glad that you do. I'm happy for you, because I finally started to see myself in this way. But if, you know, you're a bit like me, and that's something that you are lacking up into this point in your life, and you cannot see yourself as that beautiful tree, it's because you think that there's a difference, and there is no difference. You are that tree. You are that beauty. So, you know, the problem is that he said you look at that rock and you think that you're different, and you're not. You're not any different. You are beautiful. So that was just something I wanted to touch on today. Let's see, as I promised, I would talk about channeling the other day and what it means to be a channeler. Maybe you're an intuitive enough person so you understood from the video. Maybe you have already learned what it means to be a channeler. Maybe you yourself are a channeler. Like I said, it's not like I'm the only person in the world that can channel the source. But what does it mean to be a channeler? Because it's not just the source that you can channel. I mean, yes, we're all a part of the source. So when we channel another person, you know, we're channeling it where we are gaining that power, that certain superpower from the source. But so what does it mean to channel something? Well, that means that precise sound or expression or even look, even just a look within the eyes, you can have that person or thing flow through you and become that. So if this, I hope this is making sense to you. To channel something is to tune in your frequency to that thing, that person, that emotion, that expression, that look. You know, you become that in a way. And this is incredibly powerful. This is incredibly intense. I can speak from experience. I know that to have a person, maybe even someone that has passed, flow through you. Because I know in certain ways, even my mother has said, because my grandmother passed November 2nd, 2015. And I'll just tell you quickly. I held her hand while she passed. I felt her spirit flow through me. I had always been so much like her, much more so than anybody in our family before that. And when she passed, I was able to see myself for this beautiful infinite being that she had always seen me as. But I felt it flow through my hand. And so I believe that not just because I was like her prior to that, but because after feeling her spirit flow through me, I am able to channel her sometimes. And it's not something I do on purpose, you know. Us channelers, we don't mean to be this way. Channeling something is completely different than acting like something else. To act in a certain way is to pretend, right? It's to play make-believe. It's to use your imagination. But to channel something, it doesn't matter if you had it, most likely you didn't have it in mind in the first place. Or, you know, maybe you were flowing along that energetic frequency. Maybe you were on that vibration, and then it just, because you opened yourself to it, or them, it's able to flow through you a lot easier. Maybe it's able to recognize your frequency much easier, because there's a certain similarity. So it's really magnificent to be able to channel someone else, especially someone that has passed. It's a gift that you can give. Some people may be afraid of it at first, but you have no idea what a healing power it is for someone, whether they're afraid of it or not. To be able to feel their loved one again when they felt prior to that they were lost, that they would never be able to experience that person again. Sorry, I almost fell. Oh, don't need to be falling again. Who's going to catch me this time? Okay, sorry. So, you know, that's the thing. You can channel humor from another place as well. I think that something that I come across the other day is that you can be a certain force in somebody's life, whether you mean to be or not. You know, you can be a driving force in somebody's life simply by being yourself or simply by channeling something else. And you have the ability to affect someone else being able to step out into out of fear into love, or you can, not on purpose, but you can drive them further into it. And it just all depends on how close they're willing to get, how deep they're willing to go. If any of you guys have watched the Infinite Waters channel, you know that us spiritual beings or deep divers doesn't mean that we're completely fearless. Now, when I say step out of fear into love, it really doesn't matter, because even if you step into that fear, even if you step into it, you're afraid to go there, but you do anyways, right? Well, then you are stepping out of it, stepping into it, stepping out of it. It really doesn't matter what perspective that you look at through, because, you've already moved to a different place, a different space. See, I know that I said, and I'm not contradicting myself, so follow me here. I know that I said that it's important not to waste your time in places and spaces where you do not belong, but sometimes, some moments, by avoiding feeling deeply, by avoiding going deeply, not spending enough moments in a space, in a place, you're forcing yourself to keep moving, you're running away. And we don't need to run away from ourselves anymore, okay? Because maybe you've noticed, no matter how hard you try, keep going back again, right? You're going to keep facing the mirror. And that's perfect. That's where you need to be, looking into the mirror. Look directly into the mirror. As I said before, there are entire universes within each one of your eyes. You are a magnificent being. You really are. Even in your fear, even in your pain, especially in your fear and your pain, that's when we are the most magnificent. Look at all the wonderful art that either comes from, happiness, but also fear, right? From negative emotions. Well, channeling love, channeling source, it is a superpower. And if you have it, don't hide it. Don't keep it to yourself. As many of you know, the lead singer of Linkin Park, Chester, he took his life. He's not a coward, and he's not alone. Many other people have taken their lives too, out of fear, but it doesn't make them a coward. It doesn't make them weak, it makes them human, right? Depression was something I touched on the other day, and it's incredibly important to talk about. It needs to be talked about. Some people say, why didn't he reach out? Why didn't he tell someone? But listen to his lyrics, right? Watch some of those interviews. He reached out. He did talk about it. Does that free you from it? Talking about it? No. Facing it? No, it doesn't free you from it. The only thing that truly frees you from that depression is realizing that you are not that depression, right? That's not to belittle anyone. What I wish that more people would do for the beings that they recognize that are sad, or there's something wrong, they're upset, they're depressed. Instead of asking someone, are you okay? Maybe say, you're not okay. Because I can't tell you how many times when someone asked me, for at least, let's say the last 20 odd years, someone asked me if I was okay, I lied and I said yes. Didn't want to be weak, right? We're so afraid to be weak because we think weakness is weakness. It's actually strength. It takes strength to admit that you feel weak. So it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel like you're not okay. Although we are all perfect, perfectly imperfect, it's very hard to see yourself this way. It's hard to see yourself. Because if you could really see yourself the way that the source sees you, if you could really embrace yourself that way, then would you be depressed? No, you wouldn't be. But it's hard to hold up a mirror to yourself, because even when you do hold up the mirror to yourself, you may see things differently because you're looking through your eyes and even your third eye, right? But your heart, that's where all the truth really lies. So it's important to recognize when someone isn't okay. And I know that us empathic beings who feel things so deeply, we are afraid to feel someone else's pain. We think that we can't help them because we have our own. But I'll tell you what, true power comes from empowering others. It comes from lifting others up even when you feel weak. And it goes round and round, back and forth, right? We're here for each other. We should be anyways. We share this planet. It's not hard to be a decent fucking human being. It's really not. It's really not. I know sometimes it feels like it is because people are frustrating, but we take everything so personally. So if you recognize that someone is not okay, if you recognize that somebody needs help, I suggest you ask that person to get help. Because I'll tell you what, I had a hard year last year. I all but killed myself. I couldn't do it because I couldn't leave my mother and I couldn't leave my friends that were there for me, trying to lift me up, even through all their own pain and their own issues. I had so many people backing me up and just asking me not to leave. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have made this dream come true, right? There's so much on the other side of fear. And I'm happy and I'm thankful that those people asked me to get help. And them asking me to get help, okay, at first I was able to think of it like I was doing them a favor. And sure, you are, but it really comes down to you doing yourself a favor, right? So, I said this on my Facebook post the other day, but I really wish that I knew you, Chester. I wish I did. Not because you were famous. Not because at a time in 6th grade when I came upon your music, it helped me in a way. One of the first times I wanted to kill myself and let go. But because you're a human being and you deserve happiness just like we all do, my heart goes out to your family. My heart goes out to all of you that are watching this, that are going to fluctuate through happiness and sadness and peace and pain and heaven and hell, because heaven and hell is a state within your mind. It's not just this destination, this place that if you do a certain thing you'll go to. No, it's a place right here. So I've been in hell before. Put myself through hell. I put other people around me through hell, or at least I thought that I was. It's not really up to me to decide or do. But, I'll tell you this much. Heaven is a place. Heaven is a space. It can be. So, because I believe in past lives, I believe that our dear friend Chester will be able to come back and hopefully have a different experience. That's my hope for him anyways. And for the rest of us, those of you that may be feeling pain from losing him as an inspiration and a motivation, just know that his words are eternal and they're with you always, as is his energy. And you can tell it wasn't all bad, right? And just remember that although that there is a place of hell within the mind, there's a heaven within the mind too. And, that's the balance. That's the yin and yang in life, being able to experience both. But it all comes back to positivity. It really does. It all comes back to the good, not the evil. It outweighs. Right? So, I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. I hope you have a beautiful day and night. Love you much. Mwah. Bye-bye.